Francie Nolan has a younger brother. At that time, she was 11 years old, and her brother Neely was only 10. After school, their most important job was collecting junk. Back then, the streets were filled with armies of junk collectors. This was the kind of life we had when we were young too. We also collected junk to earn a few pennies. Among this army of junk collectors, the children would mock each other. Those who had just sold their junk would loudly jeer and call out to those still dragging their junk to sell, calling them rag pickers, even though they were all the same. The money from selling the junk amounted to 16 cents. When they brought this 16 cents home, their mother would always put 8 cents into a tin can bank. Their family had a tin can bank, and half of the money, 8 cents, was always put into it. The remaining 8 cents were then equally divided between the brother and sister, giving them 4 cents each. This way, their mother did not take all their money, but rather distributed it fairly, giving them each 4 cents. The junk dealer would pinch the little girl's cheek each time, giving her an extra penny as a sign of affection. This penny was for the girl to keep, so she ended up with 5 cents. How to spend these 5 cents was a big decision for her, as it seemed like a lot of money. And what was on Broadway in Williamsburg, Brooklyn? Nothing, only the finest nickel and dime store in all the world. It was big and glittering and had everything in the world in it. Or so it seemed to an 11-year-old girl. Francie had a nickel. Francie had power. She could buy practically anything in that store. It was the only place in the world where that could be. So the mother treats her fairly. What kind of person is the mother? Mama was 29. She had black hair and brown eyes and was quick with her hands. She had a nice shape, too. She worked as a janitress and kept 3 tenement houses clean. Who would ever believe that Mama scrubbed floors to make a living for the 4 of them? She was so pretty and slight and vivid and always bubbling over with intensity and fun. Even though her hands were red and cracked from the sodaed water, they were beautifully shaped with lovely curved oval nails. So Francie's mom was a janitress who cleaned tenement houses for rent. And that's why their family could afford to live in this place. Whereas his father, Johnny, is a charming, handsome, aspiring singer, the kind who sings in restaurants and bars to earn a little money. However, he has a bad habit of drinking. He's an alcoholic. On payday, which is every Saturday, his mother receives some wages, and his father hands over the salary, but keeps the tips. This is their family tradition. You can drink with the tips, but the salary must be handed over to the wife. At this time, their family would live a bit better. Mom would send her a few blocks away to buy tongue meat, which is the cheaper kind of meat they could afford, and then she'd buy some more luxurious sweet bread. These were occasional treats they could have on payday. They would have it with coffee and condensed milk, which was a very rare and precious meal.